Starting a career with the Royal Canadian Air Force, Paul Manson rose through the ranks as a pilot and commanding officer with increasing responsibility in the armed forces. Completing a 38-year career, he served as Canada's Chief of the Defence Staff and was instrumental in establishing the Canadian War Museum. Born in Trail, British Columbia on August 20, 1934, Paul moved with his family to Arvida, Quebec, moving again after 3 years to Montreal, where Paul began his education. As a boy, Paul heard about the Royal Canadian Air Force during the war years, when he wore a uniform for the first time. In 1947, the family moved to Deep River, Ontario, and Paul attended high school at Pembroke, playing hockey, football, and basketball. After high school, Paul was accepted at the Canadian Services College at Royal Roads, Victoria, as an Air Force cadet, the beginning of a long career in military aviation. He took flying training while a student at Royal Roads and at the Royal Military College in Kingston, Ontario, and graduated as the top cadet at both colleges. Then at Queen's University in Kingston, he earned a BSc degree in electrical engineering in 1957. As a flight cadet with the RCAF while attending college, Paul flew Harvards as a pilot trainee in 1953 at No. 3 Flying Training School in Claresholm, Alberta. The next summer, he flew Harvards at No. 4 Flying Training School at Penhold, Alberta. In 1955, Paul was posted to Grotonquin, France, followed in 1956 by a refresher course on Harvards at Centralia, Ontario. Paul then went on to Lockheed T-33 Silver Stars at the Advanced Flying School at RCAF Station MacDonald, Manitoba. In 1957, Paul and his wife Margaret were married at Kemptville, Ontario, attended by an honor guard from the Royal Military College. And also in 1957, Paul received his pilot's wings that same year and was promoted from pilot officer to flying officer in the Royal Canadian Air Force. Following operational training on the CF-100 Canuck at RCAF Station Cold Lake, Alberta, he was posted in 1958 to 440 Squadron at 3 Wing in Zweibrücken, West Germany. There he began his operational flying on the Avro Canada CF-100, the Canadair F-86 Sabre, the MacDonnell CF-100 Voodoo, and the CF-104 Starfighter, his favorite fighter aircraft. From 1960 to 1967, Paul Manson served with increasing responsibilities in Europe and Canada, in flying, training, and administrative assignments with advancement in rank. During this period, he was promoted to squadron leader and attended the Canadian Forces Staff College in Toronto in 1966-67. Following F-86 transition training, Paul took F-104 operational training with 417 Squadron at Cold Lake, Alberta, topping his course. Promoted to lieutenant colonel, in 1968 he returned to Europe as commanding officer of 441 Reconnaissance Squadron at One Wing in Lahr, West Germany. After service as base operations officer at One Wing, Paul was senior staff officer at Canadian Forces Europe headquarters in Lahr. Returning to Canada, now a colonel, he was named executive assistant to the Chief of the Defence Staff from 1972 to 73. This was followed by his appointment as base commander at CFB Chatham, New Brunswick, from 1974 to 76. During that time, he became combat ready on the CF-101 Voodoo and logged over 100 hours on helicopters, mostly in single-engine Hueys. In 1977, Paul was promoted to brigadier general and became program manager of the new fighter aircraft program, leading to selection of the MacDonnell Douglas CF-18 as Canada's new fighter jet aircraft. His next appointment was commander of 1 Canadian Air Group in Germany from 1980 to 81, his second starfighter tour. Senior positions followed, including assignment to National Defense Headquarters as a Major General and promotion through the ranks, when in 1986 Paul Manson was appointed as Chief of the Defense Staff with the rank of General, a position he held until his retirement from the military in 1989. Next, he served as president of Paramax, a Montreal-based aerospace company, and then as chairman of Lockheed Martin Canada. In retirement, Paul served as full-time volunteer chairman of the campaign for the new Canadian War Museum, which raised $16.5 million for the museum in Ottawa, opening in 2005. Pilot, military leader, and business manager, Paul Manson has been decorated as Commander of the Order of Military Merit and has received honors from the Canadian Aeronautics and Space Institute. And in December 2017, the General Paul Manson Meeting Room was dedicated at the Canadian War Museum. Since high school, when he played in a band with his father, music has played a part in Paul's life. For 20 years in retirement, he was trombonist with Ottawa's well-known Polished Brass Quintet. In 2002, he was made an Officer of the Order of Canada. Other awards include honorary doctorates from both Royal Roads Military College and the Royal Military College. General Paul David Manson was inducted as a member of Canada's Aviation Hall of Fame at ceremonies held in Calgary on June 7, 2018.